So the RedBull KTM Factory Racing Team, historically an incredible force in the MX2 class, winning 15 of the 20 MX2 World Championships since it switched to the 254-stroke category. So they've really got such a strong history in this class, but 2024 has not been so kind to them.
Liam already started with an injury, so he started with missing the first GP. Of course, that's never a present. And Andrea also didn't feel comfortable from the start, let's say, with the new bike. It took a little bit time before we found the right setup, but that happens sometimes in a technical sport. But yeah, hey guys, that's the way it is in sport in general, and we need to look forward, learn from our mistakes, and try to improve.
Last season, they had two riders at the start of the year. Nobody thought they would be competing for the World Championship, and they did. They were taking it right to the penultimate round, as it was between Andrea and Liam. It was certainly very close. But then this season, they're fighting for 4th and 5th in the championship. Liam has won 2 GPs earlier in the year. Andrea has won 2 individual races and a RAM qualifying race. They still might be able to salvage some race results and really get amongst the mix to play amongst the championship contenders.
Now I feel even worse when I see the number. Oh, no bread anymore. Not a man of many words. We're here in Loket for around, I don't know. We're over halfway, this is what I know. We did just done first practice. Had a good feeling. Track was pretty fast, but should be alright for the quali race for Sunday. Hope we get some rain. Would be nice. A lot of it would be nice.
I think it's fair to say that with Liam Everts, he came into the championship in his rookie season a couple of years ago, and he surprised everyone, including himself. He had no expectations, no pressure, but yet he made his mark in the championship. 2 years down the line, we can really see him growing in confidence. I guess on those weekends where he's perhaps not hugely satisfied with his result, it's on those weekends that you learn, and it's on those weekends that shape you into a potential world champion for the future.
For me, it really was. I was feeling very good coming into this season. I did the pre-season race in Sommières and Mantova, which for me was the best I ever felt, really. And then the thumb injury just came at a very bad time. I had a little crash with my thumb then, which actually didn't look like much, and you see some other huge ones and they walk away from it. So it's also a little bit a matter of luck, not all of it for sure. But yeah, everything needs to fall into place as well.
Reaching top level in no matter which sport is not easy. Once you're there, and then staying there at the top is even more complicated. We're only human, so that's the way it is, and we have to overcome it.
Questo caffè che ho preso era c'aveva un po' di austriaco, non era tanto forte. C'aveva un po' di austriaco questo caffè. È buono? Sì, un goccio, dai. 2 espressi nel giro di 40 minuti.
Our reigning MX2 world champion, Andrea Adamo, he's such a nice guy, whether he's had a good weekend, whether he's had a bad weekend. But this year, something, I guess, hasn't clicked for him. Yes, he is the reigning MX2 world champion. Yes, this is a position that he's not familiar with and he's not used to being in. But I don't think that worries him.
Poi ho provato...
I think he's very relaxed coming into every weekend, and he has that mentality that if it's a bad weekend, it's not ideal, but he'll brush himself off and he'll start again next weekend.
in general in the season, when you don't have a good winter, you arrive at the first race that you are a little bit like not fully convinced and already when you arrive at first race, you are a little bit how the other guys are. They did a good job. How they feel. So you are with many questions. But this year I was with even more questions than normal. I just had always the mentality to go on the track and do my best. And once that I put everything I have in the track and I give everything I have, if it's first, second, third or fourth, that for me doesn't matter. We learn from everything, and I will take the experience of this year to become a better rider for next year.
Hello everybody and welcome to Loket. It's round 13 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Czech Republic. We are right in the very west of the country, close to the German border, and this picturesque town here in Loket is an absolute marvel. Just 10 minutes down the road, you've also got Carlo Vivari with its own unique history, the spa town there, a very popular destination for people visiting this Grand Prix, just as this town here is right now. Bathed in glorious sunshine for the latest stage of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We've got a fantastic atmosphere brewing as well. We had it all through Saturday.
I was really looking forward to go to Loket because last year I had a crazy race. I won 2 motos out of 3, so I was super pumped. And in Loket I won my first moto of my career. So I was super pumped, but this year I think give too much last year, and this year was empty.
Kai de Wolf actually around about gates 7 or 8 over on the right. He doesn't get a very good jump, de Wolf, and he's squeezed to the inside already. And Sasha Kunin hits the line for Foxhole shot number 12. Adamo there in second, Everts third, a RedBull KTM 1-2-3. A couple of Monster Energy Triumphs in there, in about 6th or 7th place as well. Adamo second, Everts third. Langenfelder is in 4th place.
So it's just typical of the fortunes of the RedBull KTM Factory Racing Team season in 2024 in MX2 that they get a start. 1, 2 and 3, absolute dominance.
Adamo looking menacing, goes to the outside as he goes after the number 19, Sasha Kunin. He gets better drive than the Belgian.
Mr. Byra's there, it all looks great.
Everts trying to keep these guys in check, but just losing the toe to them on the early moments of this first MX2 race. The 2 RedBull KTMs, Adamo and Liam Everts, 2nd and 3rd in the race at the moment.
And then the race gets stopped.
So we've got a red flag here in MX2 race 1.
That just really sums up their season so far.
Like I said, just a bit too much up and down. Some weekends are very positive and the other ones are a little bit less, you know. I'm not quite there where I want to be. To me in Loket, I felt that sort of flow again, and I like that.
This one, yeah, it's also a souvenir from Loket. Actually, if I show all the souvenirs from Loket, we can stay here till this afternoon. The crash that I hurt myself was not the one in the moto. The one in the moto was just the cherry on the cake. The cake was already well done on the warm-up. I had really a big crash in the warm-up. When I went to the paddock, I saw all the blood coming out from the side because I had a big hole on the left side of, let's say, my chest. So for me it was not easy to restart, but I did, and then I had a stupid crash almost in the end of the moto. I think 3 or 4 laps to go. I had to go out. So that was my story of Loket. Thank you, Loket.
But that's what happens when the back end comes around, but it's just landed on his side. Look,
you always keep going on, keep moving on. And some years, yeah, I mean, if it's not meant to be, it's like this, you know. It's part of racing, you know. You deal with it, you move on, and maybe some year will be my year. Maybe next year, maybe the year after, I don't know. To me, it looks like Kai is having his year. I think it's fair enough to say.
Liam Everts starting to become impatient. Oh, sweetly up the inside. Not hanging around now, is he, the 72?
Yeah, very happy about Loket, especially about my passing. Very determined and aggressive in a positive way, which was good. Starts were good again. Yeah, just these two little slip-ups really cost me a lot at the end of it all, because I was feeling really good.
Looking at the both races, he had 2 small tip-overs in both races and he had to play catch-up. But he did play catch-up and he did regroup and he made those passes in both races. And I think that says a lot about him as a racer. And I have no doubt that he's going to regroup, brush himself off before his home GP in Loket.
Gates drop here in Loket. Right from the centre of the gate, Everts looks like he's got a good jump this time around. And it might be Liam Everts over the line, and it is the number 72 for his 3rd foxhole shot of the campaign. One of 2 RedBull KTMs in the race. No Andrea Adamo, of course, after his crash. De Wolf comes in hot this time, and it goes around the outside to make that 2nd place his. This time he does go through. Yes, he does. He makes it work through the right-hander. 2 corners to go. And De Wolf, he will hit the Monster Energy finish line jump. He wins the race. He wins the Grand Prix. Victory number 5 for the season for the Dutchman in 2024.
Yeah, it was a great Grand Prix for Kai. Another feather in the cap, a victory at a racetrack that he's never won at before. He laid to rest the ghosts of the past, and he is in a great position heading into the GP in Flanders. Lucas Koenen will head into Flanders knowing that more work needs to be done. Simon Langenfelder, 2 second-place finishes, was solid, was comfortable in front of, you know, quite a few German fans, with him just living 1 hour away, just over the border.
Antonio Alia Portela, the FIM CMS director, handing the red plate to Kai de Wolf, who continues to lead in MX2. 46 points now he leads as he goes to the MXGP of Flanders at Lommel in Belgium.
You need to pour it out. There. Now we have pasta. I'm feeling better. I mean, it was quite tough for me the last weeks. I did Bilstein, Adak before Indonesia, and Indonesia with COVID, so that was quite tough, but now I start to feel better, so I hope I can be back in the shape of Latvia and Spain and Portugal and the earlier races of the season, because I was really feeling good, so it was a bit of a shame that I got sick.
The 24 season with Cornelius started really good. I worked with him in the EMX 250 series. He came back to me and I speak to him last year on the end of the season because I see very much potential in Cornelius. And he's a hard worker, he's eager to work. He came to the team in the winter. We did some testing and we did riding, and then yeah, we continued to a good relation. Yeah, we started the season off and I was very happy with the result he does, because I know he can look back and he do everything for the sport as possible. And he's young, he still make little mistakes, but that's all belongs to his career. Yeah, the results were mega.
So Schmicker Racing KTM are a German team, a private team funded by a building merchant. They are now running Cornelius Tøndel in MXGP. he's a former EMX 250 round winner, so Cornelius Tøndel is not to be underestimated. He's gone straight up into MXGP, completely bypassed MX2, and coming into Loket, he was 12th in the championship. So, you know, he really has put together a great season so far, even when he had some health issues in Indonesia, which also restricted his scoring there. So, yeah, Tøndel has been a real revelation this year and certainly put himself on the map for a possible future factory ride with a really big team. So Adam Sterry is a real professional seasoned racer now. I mean, he's raced in MX2 at the very top level, got very close to a race win there at Loket in 2019, the year he finished 6th in the championship.
With Adam, we have an experienced rider. He's 28-year-old, comparing to Cornelius, is only 22 years old. So Adam have a lot of race experience, also on a higher level, make podiums in MX2. He was a little bit unlucky this season in the GPs to come back for a full season because he got a little bit injured sometimes and he needed to set back.
Dad, did you have a video of that triple? Did you video that triple? When I did it clean, I got the first double right and then you can triple, but if you bounce off, if you don't clear the first double, you bounce into the takeoff and you can't get the drive. My first fast lap, I did the triple clean, and my second fast lap, which was my actual fast lap, I didn't jump the triple.
I have when you did your fast lap on my phone if you want it.
I had a good feeling, but the time wasn't how it felt. I was a bit further down than where I felt, but I had a good feeling, so the times are really close. Just a few sections where I can be better. And then, yeah, we'll see in time practice. It was only free practice, so it doesn't matter so much. And yeah, see where we end up in time practice. Then you can ask me the question.
The charge down to the first turn begins here. Jeremy Seawer in there, so too Jorge Prado. Just looking towards the back end, everybody seems like they're okay, but it's Seawer who's over the line first for the 4th time this year.
Coming into Loket, it's difficult to say who the favourite is because Jorge Prado has won 3 times. The same for Jeffrey. Roman Fevre, who's coming back this weekend, is a 3-time winner in the Premier class, including last year, 2023. But Tim Geiser, the championship leader, has never won around this Loket circuit. He's been on the podium 5 times. That's already impressive enough, but he's never won there.
Benoit Paturel second. Then we got Prado, Geiser and Hurlings right there, 3rd, 4th and 5th. All of them with a bit of work to do.
But the racetrack is not an easy racetrack.
Bottom end of the circuit, Prado leaves the door open. Geiser not able to respond this time around, but he shows a wheel to Seawer. That spooked the Swiss, and he almost browned the pants there.
It's hard, it's slick, it's choppy, it's edgy, it's unpredictable, it's hilly.
Prado goes through as he takes over the lead on the opening lap. And Hurlings joining the party as well. He gets up the inside of Seawer, not able to find his way through.
You know, the hills are a lot bigger and steeper than they look on TV, for sure.
But now he will. Prado first, Hurlings second. And we've got a new leader. Hurlings leads, Prado second. Hurlings will win race 1. This is 8th win of the season. 200 race wins for Jeffrey Hurlings as he wins race 1 here in Loket. Prado second, Geiser third.
Tim, in my opinion, he needs to win here just to keep the other guys on their toes. But even if he's second and ties on points with the leader, no one has gained on him, especially if it's Prado.
Last weekend in Loket, we were a little bit unlucky with all the riders, I must say. We had some issues. We had a broken chain. We had some colliding, two riders together. Cornelius crashed on his own, and then in the next moto he hurt his ankle, and all the riders got hurt and had an impact, so they couldn't finish. I also see that we have a lot of motos that we did really good, and it's always in a season. There's always a moment that you can't perform that good.
So it really was a tale of woe for the Schmicker Racing Team at Loket, which has really not been a great representation for their season, because they have really put together some great finishes, especially with Cornelius in MXGP.
Race 1 was a massive achievement for Jeffrey Herlings, because that victory secured him his 200th race victory in his career. A milestone that may never be matched again. But no time to celebrate, because he's got to focus on race 2. Coming off the gate, he didn't get a good jump. He got squeezed down the start straight, so then he had to improvise, and somehow, miraculously, he was able to come out in around about 10th place. But then, just as he came through the rhythms and started to peel into turn 2,
Herlings lucky not to get caught in that, but I think he's tipped over going into turn 2. That might have been Herlings. Out of the side door it was. He survives turn 1, he goes down in turn 2, and it's Prado who leads.
As early as the start of the second lap, he'd already got up to 12th. He was challenging Andrea Bonacorsi, but
looking to go around the Italian. Oh, and he's down again! Just misread the situation.
And all of a sudden, he's down to 16th or 17th place, and now 25 seconds off the lead. A massive mountain to climb. Chance of the overall Grand Prix victory is over, surely, you know? Especially on a track like Loket, because not the easiest track to pass on traditionally, but it's not impossible to pass on this track either.
Oh my God, I'm just playing with them now, yeah. Oh my God, what she saying?
Dips up the inside of Coldenhoff. Goes after Guillaume. Moves up into 9th. Around the outside of the Swiss and into 8th place.
He was just in beast mode, full attack. He knows championship is on the line. He knows Grand Prix is on the line. And points, he can't afford to lose points to Jorge and Tim. What we saw was him just riding on pure instinct, the racecraft that is now back in full flow. You know, the speed, the fitness, all those things are right there. He only had one thing in his mind, getting in towards the top 3, maybe even still having a shot at winning the Grand Prix, and he came that close.
But he's going to get alongside him at the end of the straight here, and he does, and Siwa almost took the front, but Herlings moves up into 5th place. What a ride this has been from Herlings. Herlings is going to pick him off for 4th place. Oh, he was tight.
He caught Calvin Valandren on the final lap.
He gets to go again, but the back end doesn't allow him.
From there, he lost drive, but he's a smart rider. He knew from there he maybe wasn't able to make up that time.
As Prado under attack from Geiser, he makes a mistake. Geiser tries to do to Prado what he got done to him in Indonesia. And they're bar to bar, literally. This could end in tears. We've said that before. Tim Geiser wins race 2. He wins in Loket for the first time. Prado 2nd, Valandren 3rd. Jeffrey Herlings crossing the line in 4th. That's going to be good enough for a podium.
3rd overall. He trained today, and next up is Lotman, so looking forward to it.
Why did you let Valandren go on that final lap?
I had an idea where I could pass him, but I just couldn't make it happen, and the last 3 turns were just following. I know I couldn't pass him there, so there I just had to follow, so I had to give up. But also I was tired in the end, so anyway, 3rd overall is still okay for this track.
He still made the podium, 8 in a row now for him, but he did lose points on Prado and Tim.
Jorge Prado, RedBull Gas Factory Racing, 2nd overall for the Spaniard, who's 36 points down on Tim Geiser now.
Tim Geiser was a winner for the first time. You know, he got his race win, he got his GP win. all of a sudden the mental block of never winning in Loket has gone. Game on, and advantage Tim Geiser.
So the amazing thing about MXGP this year is just the unpredictability of the battle between those top 3 riders, and you never really know what's going to happen. Especially coming to Lommel, where you've got the deep sand. All 3 of those riders have had great success at this venue, but at Sardinia, Jorge said he's the king of the sand now. So that's just a massive gauntlet down to the rest of the racers in this environment, and for sure, Jeffrey will want that crown back, and Tim will really want to upset the balance.